Nityanam Cheva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Yasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatottama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nishtaki Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chachurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Caitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Hare Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dinabandho, Jagatpate, Gopesha, Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta, Namastute, Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe, Vrindavaneshwari, Vishabhanu, Sate Devi, Pranamami, Hari Priye, Namo Vishnupadaya, Krishna Krishnaya, Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami, Iti Namine, Namaste, Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 3 and we are reading from chapter 15, text 20, where Brahmaji is narrating the story of the four Kumaras. They have entered Vaikuntha and how they have crossed the 6 gates and now they have seen Jai Vijay. So, Yad Sankulam Haripadanati Matra Drishte Vedurya Marakata Hema Mayir Vimanahe Yesham Vritkati Tataha Smita Shobhi Mukhiyaha Krishnatmanamna Raja Adadu Utsma Yadayehe. The inhabitants of Vaikuntha travel in their airplanes. I think we've done this, no? Beautiful charms, lapis lazuli. What happened? Just one moment, please. Sorry, let me check. Which one did we finish? Yeah, we've done till 28. Sorry about that. I don't know why we're here. Anyway, till 28, right? So I'll open up a and we finished 28, so now 29. Okay. Dwari etayor niviveshur nishator aprishtva purva yatha purata vajra kapatikaya sarvatrate vishamaya munya swadrishtya ye sancharanti avihata vigata vishankaha. The great sages headed by Sanak had opened doors everywhere. They had no idea of ours and theirs. With open minds, they entered the 7th door out of their own will, just as they had passed through the 6 other doors, which were made of gold and diamonds. The great sages, namely Sanak, Sanatan, Sanandana, and Sanat Kumar, although very old in years, maintained themselves eternally as small children. They were not at all duplicitous, and they entered the doors exactly as little children enter places, without any idea of what it is to trespass. That is a child's nature. A child can enter any place and no one checks him. Indeed, a child is generally welcome in his attempts to go places, but if it so happens that a child is checked from entering a door, he naturally becomes very sorry and angry. That is the nature of a child. So the four Kumaras, they are very elderly actually, because they are Brahmaji's first sons. But then they have, because of their purity, their devotional service, they appear as small children. And as small children, they entered Vaikuntha without any cares that, how the children also barge in anywhere. Anywhere, they'll just go. They will not care. Oh, I shouldn't go here. So they were like children entering anywhere into the gates of the Vaikuntha. So in this case, the same thing happened. The childlike, saintly personalities entered all the 6 doors of the palace, and no one checked them. Therefore, when they attempted to enter the 7th door and were forbidden by the doormen, who checked them with their sticks, they naturally became very angry and sorrowful. An ordinary child would cry, but because these were not ordinary children, they immediately made preparations to punish the doorman, for the doorman had committed a great offense. Even to this day, a saintly person is never checked from entering anyone's door in India. So here the four Kumaras, why they got angry is they're like, this is Vaikuntha, Why are you stopping us? In Vaikuntha, there is no discrimination. Anyone can go. That's the reason they became angry. And anyway, because of their childlike personality also. But now they are getting ready to punish, because they're telling Jaya Vijay, you are gatekeepers of Vaikuntha. Then how you are thinking like this to stop us from coming? Tan vikshya vatarashanams chatura kumaran vritan dasharda vayaso viditatma tatman vitrena chaksha khalayatam atad arhanamstav tejo vihasya bhagvat pratikula shilam. The 4 boy sages, who had nothing to cover their bodies but the atmosphere, looked only 5 years old, even though they were the oldest of all living creatures and had realized the truth of the self. But when the porters, who happened to possess a disposition quite unpalatable to the Lord, saw the sages, they blocked their way with their staffs, despising their glories, although the sages did not deserve such treatment at their hands. So the 4 sages, they are the 4 Kumaras, they are the first born sons of Brahmaji. So therefore, all other living entities, including Lord Shiva, are born later and are therefore younger than the 4 Kumaras. So the 4 Kumaras are even elder than Lord Shiva, because Lord Shiva is born later on. So although they look like 5-year-old boys and travel naked, the Kumaras were older than all other living creatures. And they had realized the truth of the self. So they were self-realized. They were liberated souls. They had realized the Brahman, and they knew there is Supreme Brahman also. They were Brahmavadis. Brahmavadis, that I am not this body, I am the spirit soul, and there is a greater Supreme soul. Not that they are thinking that they are God, but they know there is God and that He's higher than them. So such saints were not to be forbidden to enter the kingdom of Vaikuntha, but by chance, the doorman objected to the entrance. This was not fitting, because they're highly qualified. Imagine, they already have realized the truth. They are understanding their position, that I'm the soul and there is a supreme soul. So it's not an easy position to reach, and they're very qualified. Very, very qualified. The Lord is always anxious to serve sages like the Kumaras. But in spite of knowing this fact, the doorman astonishingly and outrageously prohibited them from entering. So we have always seen the personality of Krishna, of Vishnu. He is Go Brahmana Rakhya. He's always protecting the Brahmanas, the sages. He respects them a lot. He respects them, the true Brahmanas, the true Brahmanas, the true Brahmavadis. And he always wants to, like even when Bhrigu Muni, when he kicked the chest of Lord Vishnu was like, oh my God, are you okay? My chest is so hard and your feet are so soft. So we can see what's the mood of the Lord. What is his mood? That he is willing to give all respects to everyone. He's the Supreme Lord, but he wants to give respect to everyone. So reading on Tabhyam Mishatasva Animi Sheshu Nishidya Manaha Swarhatama Hi Api Hare Pratihara Pabhyam Uchu Suhritama Didrikshita Bhangaishat Kama Nujena Sahasata Upalutakshaha. When the Kumaras, although by far the fittest persons, were thus forbidden entrance by the two chief doorkeepers of Sri Hari, while other divinities looked on, their eyes suddenly turned red because of anger, due to their great eagerness to see their most beloved master, Sri Hari, the personality of Godhead. Now they are eager to see the Lord. They are being stopped, so they've gotten angry. According to the Vedic system, a sannyasi, a person in the renounced order of life, is dressed in saffron-colored garments. This saffron dress is practically a passport for the mendicant and sannyasi to go anywhere. The sannyasi's duty is to enlighten people in Krishna consciousness. Those in the renounced order of life have no other business but preaching the glories and supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the Vedic sociological conception is that a sannyasi should not be restricted. He is allowed to go anywhere and everywhere he wants. And he's not refused any gift he might demand from a householder. So this is actually the position of a sannyasi, a person who's wearing saffron-colored clothes. What is he supposed to do? What is his duty? Is to give Krishna consciousness to others, to wake us up to our natural position. Each and every living entity's natural position is Krishna consciousness, that we have an eternal loving relationship with Krishna, that we are not the body, but we have a spiritual form. Krishna is Satchidananda Vigraha, a form of eternal bliss and full of knowledge, and so do we. But that is the duty of a sannyasi. But now we can see in Kali Yuga, practically, there's so many people who wear the sannyasi clothes, but they misguiding us. They are, misguiding our faith. And because of that, people don't know who's a real sannyasi and who's not. I mean, I don't know if you all have that experience, but
Yes, you find many dongi.
Yeah. So you really don't know, because the faith is already been hurt. So again, you're scared to trust another sannyasi because you don't know, is he going to cheat me or no, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be careful who we are going to hear from. But the sannyasi's duty is what? To tell people about Krishna consciousness. Somebody who's talking about Krishna consciousness, who's coming in the parampara system, okay, then we should hear from them. Okay, then because they have no other business. Sannyasi should not go anywhere for getting money or for getting fame or anything. What is his business is only that he should give Krishna to others, teach others the glories and supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So not only he has to glorify the Supreme Lord, but also teach us the supremacy of the Supreme Lord, means the position of the Supreme Lord. Is because we do not understand Krishna's position. We think, oh, he's the boy next door, oh yeah, I know Krishna, I know him very well. But we do not understand his true position, his supreme position. So that's the duty of a sannyasi. So the four Kumaras came to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayan. The word Suhritama, best of all friends, is important. As Lord Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita, he is the best friend of all living entities. Suridam sarva bhutanam. No one can be a greater, well-wishing friend to any living entity than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Really? I thought I was the best friend of everyone. We think we are the best friend of people, but actually it's Krishna. Krishna is our best friend. Why is that? Anyone?
Because he gives us everything.
Yeah, he gives us everything. And what else?
He loves us unconditionally.
He loves us.
Yeah.
Yes.
In
Yes,
any
loves us.
stage of life, in any species you go, he never leaves you.
Yeah, but why is he called a well-wisher? Well-wisher.
Because he knows the
well-wisher.
best for us, right?
Yeah. He's coming. He's as the Paramatma in our heart, He does
Yes.
not leave us. Imagine, we say, Krishna, I want to forget you. I want to be God. So I want to forget you. So he lets us do that. He creates this material world for us. But he loves us so much, he does not want to leave us alone. So he's in our heart as the Paramatma. And no matter how much we tell him, I don't want to see you, Krishna, I don't want to be with you, he still continues to stay in our heart. Who is going to do that?
He's
We
still
are best
looking
of
after
friends.
us. Right.
Yeah, see, we'll be best of friends, but if I'm rude to any friend, they'll say, you go do your own thing, I'll do my own thing. Good luck to you. I don't want to talk to you ever again. But Krishna is not like that. He does not leave us even for a moment till the time we are in the material world. Even a fraction of a second, he does not leave us alone. Imagine, no matter which body we are going, hell, heaven, pig, or king, or Brahma, anywhere, he never leaves us. Always. So no one can be a greater well-wishing friend to any living entity than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's so kindly disposed towards everyone that in spite of our completely forgetting our relationship with the Supreme Lord, he comes himself, sometimes personally, as Lord Krishna appeared on this earth, and sometimes as his devotee, as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and sometimes his bona fide devotees to reclaim all the fallen souls. So he's coming himself as Krishna. We have been reading the Krishna book. Now, what's the reason? To hear his pastimes. How loving pastimes. He's so loving. Just yesterday we were reading that he's fighting with Chanura, but he's seeing that the ladies, they are getting anxious that I'm fighting with Chanura and they are getting worried about me. So let me kill Chanura fast so the ladies don't get so much anxious. He's just all the time thinking about us. He's not thinking about himself. How loving is he, And we say, no, we don't want to know you. Yet he keeps coming. Please come back. Please come back. He comes himself. Or he sends so many incarnations. Ramachandra, Matsya, so many. He keeps coming, different incarnations. And 500 years ago, he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to teach us how we can love Krishna, how we can revive our love for him. And he keeps sending his pure devotees. There's so many bona fide devotees he keeps sending to remind us that you have a loving relationship with Krishna. Wake up, be situated in that relationship. So therefore, he's the greatest well-wishing friend of everyone. And the Kumaras wanted to see him. Now, wouldn't we want to see? Don't we want to see Krishna? He's so loving. He's so kind. He's the best friend of everyone. He wants the best for us. So the Kumaras also want to see him. The doorkeepers should have known that the four sages had no other business. So they didn't want anything in return from the Lord. No business. They're not doing any business with the Lord that I've come to see you, you give me this. Many times we do business with Krishna, right? Krishna, I'll chant your rounds, you give me this, you make this okay. So here the four Kumaras, no business, no other business. Therefore, to restrict them from entering the palace was not apt. But so what shall we do? We have material desires. We are doing business with the Lord. Shall we stop praying to him? No, continue. Keep chanting, keep hearing about him. Just fall in love with Krishna. So in this verse, it is figuratively stated that the younger brother of desire suddenly appeared in person when the sages were forbidden to see the most beloved personality of Godhead. Okay. Now, who's the younger brother of desire? That is anger. If one's desire is not fulfilled, the younger brother, anger follows. Here we can mark that even great saintly persons like the Kumaras were also angry. But are they angry for themselves? He's saying, no, they're not angry for their personal interest. Now, why they're angry? They're angry because they were not allowed to see the Lord, to see the personality of Godhead. So we have also seen, we have a desire, we want something. And when it's not fulfilled, how angry we get. I don't know if you all have experienced it. You know, we really want something and that desire is not fulfilled. We get an anger. We might either burst that anger out or we will keep it in our heart. But that anger will be there. So that's why it's called younger brother of desire. So then what to do? And Krishna says in the anger, how to stop the anger. He says it in Bhagavad Gita. How? Why do we get angry? These, of course, the Kumaras are angry because they have a transcendental mission. They want to see the Lord. But what do we want? We want material things. And then when we don't get those, we get angry. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that how do we get this desire? Anger is coming because we have a desire. And how is this desire coming? It's because we are getting attached to something or someone that we want or a situation that we want. And how do we get that attachment? By looking at it, by thinking about it, by seeing it. So that's why he says, even if you see it or hear it, don't get attached to that desire. When we get attached to that desire, and when it doesn't happen, then we get angry. So that attachment, we should avoid it. Then how to avoid that attachment? How to avoid that attachment? Fix the mind on always thinking about Krishna. Connect the activity to Krishna. Immediately call out to Krishna. So therefore, the theory that in the perfectional stage, one should not have anger is not supported in this verse. Anger will continue even in the liberated stage. So this is transcendental anger. This is not for material desire. So Prabhupada is saying that anger will continue even in liberated stage. And anger can be used in the service of Krishna. Does anyone know how anger can be used in service of Krishna? For example, Hanumanji, he got angry. He got angry when Ravan, in Lanka, right? Ravan had taken Sita, Mother Sita. And then, so what did he do? He burnt the full Lanka.
Yeah.
That's how he used his anger in the service of Krishna.
Mm.
And Arjuna, how did he use anger in the service of Krishna? He fought the Kurukshetra war. To fight a war, you need a lot of anger in you. Otherwise, how will you fight? So this is transcendental anger, using it in the service of Krishna. So can we say, okay, I also have a right to get angry and I will use it in the service of Krishna. But you know, we are not at that stage right now.
Maybe we
know.
can use when our mind ignore to do the chanting, then we can do the we can use the anger on our own mind.
Oh yes, that's very good. Yes, very good. Can get angry on your own mind to not need to chant. Yes, good way. Thank you. Thank you.
Or when we are not chanting properly.
Oh yes,
Right?
Very
Yeah.
yes. Very nice. Very good way to channelize our anger. Good. Yeah, we should not get angry to others. You know, we are trying to develop tolerance, so we should not try get angry towards others. Then what to do if we get really angry at others? What shall we do? Shall we artificially stop it, or what shall we do?
Ignore.
Accept that we are angry. Accept it. And then once we accept it, we'll be okay with it. You know, Don't burst out with it. Accept, oh, the reason I'm angry is because of this, this, this. And then once we accept that, okay, I was hurt because of this, just internally, just by ourselves, then we will be able to deal with that anger. Because that's also a feeling. Feelings are like children. We just have to accept them, acknowledge them, then it will be okay.
Even though that person is saying something wrong.
Yes, so we must understand that this person is saying something wrong, he shouldn't have said that to me. But if you're able to say it in a nice way, then you say it in a nice way. But if you think you're not able to and you might just burst out, then it's better not to burst out, to leave the place. Because once we get angry, then Krishna says that we get bewildered, memory is lost, So if somebody is saying wrong to us and we understand it's wrong, and if we are able to explain it in a nice way, we do that. But if we think, no, my temper is going to get the better of me, calm down.
That's why it is said that whenever you are angry, never take a decision. Just
leave.
Like
leave
people
that
say
place.
count from 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, like that you count, but that is not the right way, I think.
Yeah, you're not able to
Like
at
that
that
you are
time.
angry and you try to divert your mind towards Krishna, not toward the material things, whatever you do in your life.
Yeah, chant. Prabhupada would say, take the japa and start chanting.
Whenever you have negative feeling, you just chant. Whatever name you like we chant Hare Krishna. Like if I am in that condition, I start chanting Hanuman Chalisa, which I have been doing since my childhood. But I used to get angry a lot. Now now I can realize that I have learned to tolerate as well.
The more you chant, the more you will be able to tolerate.
Yes.
So, and then you can revisit that situation in a calm mind after you have thought through it.
Yeah.
Then you can revisit and have a talk with that person, or if you've already understood how to manage with it, then that's okay. But chanting really helps. Recently, when I was going through this, emotions were so up and down for a few days. I was like, no, I need to chant better. That means I've, really chant, and it really helps to clear the head. Prabhupada would just say that, take your beads, go somewhere and just chant. Leave that situation. And then we can revisit the situation, whatever, because the mind is calm, so we can try to rationalize and speak or discuss in a more calm and a rational manner. So I hope that helps. So then they were restricted. So now they are angry. Why they are angry? Because they are restricted in their service to the Lord. So if suppose, do I have a right to get angry? I'll say, oh, because of you, I'm not able to serve the Lord. So shall I get angry? No, I'm not on their position. These are liberated persons. The 4 Kumaras are liberated persons. So the difference between the anger of an ordinary person and that of a liberated person is that an ordinary person becomes angry because of his sense desires are not being fulfilled. Whereas a liberated person like the Kumaras becomes angry when restricted in the discharge of duties for serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is transcendental anger. So we can see that even if we are liberated, we are still persons. We have emotions, we have feelings, we are individuals. These are individual persons. They have a form. They are liberated. It goes to show that it's not that once we become liberated, it's like no feeling, no emotion, nothing there. No. Yeah, so have a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings. That's why we are persons. So in the previous verse, I'll just finish this quickly. In the previous verse, it has been clearly mentioned that the Kumaras were liberated persons. Viditatma Tattva means one who understands the truth of self-realization. One who does not understand the truth of self-realization is called ignorant. But one who understands the self, the super self, and the interrelation and activities in self-realization is called Viditatma Tattva. So what is it? Understand our own self. Who am I? And who is the super self? The Supreme Lord. What is my relationship? What is the relationship between the soul and the super soul? The living entity and the Supreme Lord? And what are the activities that I have to do now that I understand that I am the soul, that there is a Supreme Lord? What shall I do? This is Viditatma Tattva. So this shows that it's not that once we get liberated, there is no activities to be done, that we are just sleeping or just sitting and doing nothing. No, the activities in the stage of self-realization, liberation. Actual true life begins from the point of liberation. We have been reading in Bhagavad Gita recently. Yeah. Although the Kumaras were already liberated persons, they nevertheless became angry. This point is very important here. Becoming liberated does not necessitate losing one's sensual activities. Sense activities continue even in the liberated stage. The difference is, however, that sense activities in liberation are accepted only in connection with Krishna consciousness, whereas sense activities in the conditioned stage are enacted for personal sense gratification. So this is the point. This is the difference between conditioned life and liberated life. Because even in this material body, in this human body, we can become liberated. They are pure devotees. They are liberated. And they are also doing activity. Not that they're just sitting and doing nothing the whole day. No, they're working. And from outside, if we see, we will think, oh, they're ordinary people. They are not liberated souls. But how do we understand that difference? Is because all the activities are for Krishna's pleasure. They are in connection with Krishna consciousness. Whereas we, the conditioned souls, we are acting because we want to enjoy our senses, personal sense gratification. We feel like doing this. We feel this will make us happy. Krishna is not in the picture, but for a pure devotee, it's only for the pleasure of Krishna, and that is liberation. Is that okay?
Yes.
So we don't have to stop the activities. We just purify the activities. And that begins by hearing and chanting. Hearing and chanting about Krishna. So we continue hearing and we continue chanting. Okay. Any other comments or anything?
No, all good.
Okay, we'll stop here for today. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Shilpa.